Clippers, in my opinion, are the team to beat next year. Before the video starts, like and subscribe, and let's get it. One of the reasons that I think that the Clippers are the best team in the NBA next year is because they're getting Kawhi back. And in my opinion, Kawhi is a top three player in the NBA. And Paul George was missing games for most of the season last year. He came back for the end of the season when they lost in the playing tournament, but they're getting their superstars healthy, and that's one of the reasons why I think they're going to be a top team next. Also, this team is very deep. They have like 10 guys that are starter level players on their team. They have Kawhi, they have Paul George, and they got John Wall. I feel like people are underrating or overrating John Wall. I don't think John Wall is gonna be an All Star player, but I don't think John Wall is gonna average like 8 9 points with 7 assists or 4 assists or whatever. I don't think he's gonna average, but I think he's gonna average 16 17 points with 7 8 assists, something like that. And they got Norman Powell. I'm thinking that he's gonna be off the bench, but who knows? They got Robert Covington. He's a good 3-and-D player. They got Luke Kennard. He's a good shooter. They got Nicholas Batum. He's a good defender. They have Zubac. He's a solid big man. Um, they have who else? They have Terrence Mann. The team is just very deep, and I think that's the deepest team in the NBA. And they also have two superstars, and that's why I think they're the best team in the NBA next year. They're very deep, like I said, and they have a great coach in Tyronn Lue. I think Tyronn Lue is the best coach in the NBA, especially what he did without Kawhi when they made it to the Western Conference Finals in 2021. I think that showed that he's a great coach, and lots of people were getting in debates before saying that LeBron carried him to the finals, stuff like that. But looking back at it, Tyronn Lue was actually a good coach, you know, and lots of people hindsight's 2020, but lots of people were not giving Tyronn Lue credit when the Cavs kept making it to the finals and stuff like that. And hindsight's 2020, like I said, and he's actually getting the credit that he deserves. And he's a great coach. He's a good X zone coach. He's a guy that players actually listen to and respect. And he's actually a winning coach. This team did not have Paul George or Kawhi for most of the season last year, and they're still a playoff caliber team all season long. Obviously they didn't make the playoffs, but they're a playoff caliber team. They're the 8th seed for most of the year last year, but they lost in the playing tournament to the Pelicans, sadly. But I think Tyronn Lue is a great coach and a much better coach than Doc Rivers. And I don't think that they're gonna blow. I don't think they're gonna blow a 3-1 lead. I think Tyronn Lue is not that um, inconsistent of a coach like Doc Rivers. I don't think they're gonna choke in the playoffs or whatever. And I think Tyronn Lue is actually a guy that gets his players accountable, and they're gonna actually finish the job next time when they're in the finals or the playoffs or whatever. And what separates the Clippers from the Warriors, from the Grizzlies, from the Pelicans, from the Mavericks, from the Nuggets is they have depth. And this team, I think they're going to be the number one defensive team in the NBA next year. They have everybody on the roster can play defense. And I think they're going to be a great offensive team next year. They have good spot up shooters. They have good um, thing. And I forgot about Marcus Morris. Marcus Morris is probably going to be the third or fourth best player next year. He's going to give you 17, 18 points the next year. He's a good scorer. And they have, I think this is a more talented team than their 2020 team when everybody was hyping them up. I know hindsight is 2020, and obviously they choked the rest of the Nuggets and blew a 3-1 lead. But I think this team is more talented, and they have a much better coach. And I think they're gonna be a pretty good regular season team, even though their calling card is not the regular season because of all the depth they have, and all the great defensive thing, and they don't have to worry about chemistry. Most of their guys played for 2 3 years and were already on this team for 2 years and stuff like that. And I don't think they're gonna have much problem with chemistry. And they have multiple offensive weapons, unlike the Warriors. Like Paul George is better is a better second option than anybody the Warriors have, and you can even make an argument that John Wall is better than Klay Thompson or Draymond Green or Andrew Wiggins, whoever you consider the Warriors their second best player. And yeah, I just think that they're a better defensive team, a better offensive team, and I think they have more depth than the other teams in the West. Comment down below how good do you think the Clippers are gonna be. You know, lots of people think that the best team in the NBA, like I do. Lots of people aren't that high on them. They're still gonna be a good team, but if you don't have them at least in your top five, I think you're just hating on this team. This team is too good of a team to um, be not a top five team. And yeah, I appreciate all the support that I'm getting on all these videos. Have a great day and peace out.